So good afternoon. This is Trick or Drama, and I am ecstatic to be standing here with you right now, feeling the way that I do feel. So a couple things. I did not make a video yesterday at all. I actually came out here and started to make a video. We had one heck of a thunderstorm come up, and I ran in the house and I said, well, I'll get to I'll make another video as soon as all that blows over. And by the time it did, it was getting dark, and I just said, we'll just make a follow-up video tomorrow and just be good with it. It was pretty good thunder and lightning going on out here. So biggest breakthrough is that I found a recipe on YouTube for hydrochloroquine, and I'm a little bit skeptical because it's made with grapefruits, lemons, and water. That's it. And I really kind of wondered, but I said, you know what, there's a part of me that feels like I'm been nailed to the floor. At this point, I just about eat the sweat off a dog's nuts just to feel better. So let's do what we got to do there. So I went ahead and made a batch of it, and I'm going to tell you, I had some. See, that'd be Thursday. I had some Tuesday night. Okay, and Tuesday night along with the ivermectin, and it says you could have 1 to 2 teaspoons. But I'm telling you, I went to 2 teaspoons. Bam, man. I was there because firemen always are like, hey, if 2 is good, 4 is awesome, and 10 is great, But I was like, I'm just gonna go to 2. I'm gonna see what goes on to. And I really, honestly, I just want to see if anything would happen with this stuff, if it was any good in any way. So I took 2 teaspoons, went to bed, and really it did not change my night in bed at all. Didn't cough or carry on nearly as bad, but I'd also just gotten all that medication I got from the hospital a couple days earlier, or the day earlier. So I didn't attribute it to anything more than that. Woke up yesterday morning, took another dose of hydrochloroquine, and then just kind of self-medicated with some other stuff for the day, doing stuff around. Didn't feel like I had a tremendous amount of energy, wasn't feeling run down, but I just kind of feel like I've given away everything I can give. Like, if you want to say, like, I've depleted my muscle stores, I'm done, back at base now, right? That's kind of what I was feeling, I was sitting at. So just kind of did some piddly things around the house yesterday during the day, and then I came out here to make a video, and it had a big thunderstorm, and I went back inside and just kind of did some stuff around the house a little bit until it was time to go to bed. And then I took another good dose of ivermectin and hydrochloroquine, right? So went to bed and woke up this morning, and even though I still had this little bit of a cough, it has turned it into a productive cough. Like, I am now starting to get stuff to come up when I cough. And so I'm getting stuff up. I'm feeling, like I breathe better. I can actually go a longer time in a conversation, speaking in longer sentences and not feel like I'm struggling for air. I can do stuff around the house feeling like, I'm not struggling for air. So I would say all of that is good. Every single bit of that is good. And again, I'm not on any kind of an antibiotic. This hydrochloroquine and this ivermectin, along with the Tessalon pearls and the Tessin DN, is really the only thing that I'm taking at this point. So yeah, I mean, I I would definitely say that in my opinion, and again, it might completely be subjective, but in my opinion, I think the hydrochloroquine does something. I definitely feels like it's helping with the stuff that's inside the lungs and getting that stuff broke up. So I'm a big fan of that. And then I sleep better, sleep like a rock. I was just kind of on the edge of sleep, coughing my head off all night, sleeping like a rock. And it's not like I'm sleeping like a rock and then waking up blue as a blueberry. So O2 sats are staying good, all that good stuff. So yeah, keeping up with my vitamins, keeping up with protein powders, all that stuff. Appetite's still not great. Just, you know, and I've lost a fair amount of weight, but appetite's still not great. I know that'll come back sooner or later, but man, you know, and the funny thing is now, so my father-in-law, which my wife, God bless her, my wife has been in complete fear that her father was going to get COVID. Like, this has been a big, like, we have kept this on our radar since COVID started. And my father-in-law has had numerous health problems. He went, as soon as the vaccinations were available, he went and got vaccinated. He has a pretty fragile cardiac system, ejection fractions in the toilet. You know, we're talking like in the low 20s at some points. He's had bypasses, just, you know, all kinds of issues with his heart. So on Monday, he doesn't feel great. My mother-in-law's like, come on, we're going to go get tested. So it takes him and gets him tested, he's positive. Well, while he's at the ER, they're like, hey, we're going to give you an infusion. He's like, well, what's this infusion? And they tell him, and he gets this infusion done, and they're like, you know, you may feel bad for a day or two, but this should help you out a tremendous amount. So he feels a little bit kind of Monday evening, sleeps sitting up in a recliner. Tuesday feels kind of a little bit worn out. Again, Tuesday night sits in a recliner to sleep, and then yesterday he says, hey, you know what, I'm actually feeling pretty decent. I'm starting to feel like I get my strength back. I'm starting to feel like, you know, like I'm gonna be all right on this thing. And he slept in his recliner last night. So, you know, and this infusion, and I don't know what it's called, but this infusion is something that I've heard now, especially in the elderly people in my town, who have gotten this thing, who have had amazing results with this thing. Like the guy who owns a machine shop here in town had very similar circumstance happen last Friday. And he goes to the river, and they go down there and they build a bonfire and they have a few drinks and they sit around and BS, and then he makes it home around 11:30 and he goes and gets a shower and goes to crawl up in bed. His wife says, you're acting like you're cold, and he says, I do feel cold. And she gets in bed, she's like, no, you're burning up, put your clothes on, we're going to the emergency room. They get down there, they say, yeah, you got COVID. They give him this infusion. He's back home by 5 a.m. and he feels bad for like 2 or 3 days, and not like terrible, just like, you know, run down for a couple of days. He went back yesterday and got another COVID test done that showed negative, and went back to work yesterday. 75 years old. All right, so whatever this infusion is, man, I'm gonna tell you, I would have loved to know what it was when they tested me as positive on the 27th, because I'd have lined up and I'd have got that infusion. I'm telling you, that would have been a saver of a lot of pain. So yeah, that definitely would have been something I would have bought into, because man, they're just, the people I know who are getting that thing are having a ton of success in massively improving their outcome. and shortening the length of the illness, you know, taking that thing. But as for myself, you know, with the exception of the residual stuff that I still have down in my lungs that I'm just trying to cough out and you know, clear that up, you know, I feel pretty good. Have not had to take anything today, as far as anything for temperature modification, and you know, the only thing beyond feeling a little bit of consolidated stuff in my chest that I need to cough up is that every once in a while, moving around, you know, running around doing stuff around the house, and I'll turn a corner real quick or something, and it feels like the room just kind of takes a second and lags up, you know, like takes me a second. And I hate that. It drives me crazy because it scares me only that I lose situational awareness for a split second. And if you're a guy who's had to, you know, base a living in a career and know that situational awareness has helped you keep your butt out of a bad situation on more than one occasion, when you know you're losing situational awareness for a second or two, it is really pronounced, and it can be something that really drives you nuts, and it's driving me nuts right now. So my due date to go back to work is next Wednesday. I am planning on trying to you know, do a little bit of PT between now and then, nothing overdoing it, focusing more on cardio than anything, and just trying to see if maybe getting all that exercise in there can kind of help bring some of that negatives back into the positive column. So, but that's where we're at. That's why we didn't have a video yesterday. To be honest with you, this is update number 10 on COVID, and it's going to be my last COVID update unless something significant occurs after this, because on this, you know, the only thing residual we have left to do is get what's consolidated in the base of our lungs out, and that's just going to be a time process. And I you know, I don't want to sit here for the next 2 weeks continuing to make videos on how I cough crap up. So anyways, I appreciate, sincerely, you do not know how much I truly appreciate every single one of you guys who got on here and wished me well, made comments, put in information, talked about your experiences. Guys, I'm telling you, I had some nights where it was not, you know, a good thing, and I really kind of struggled through some of those nights, and some of those comments that you guys have made, I have read those things, oh God, 20, 30 times, just reading through them, just gaining strength from them, and you know, I truly appreciate them, because you know, they were those things when you know, you're not wanting to go in there and wake your wife up and go like, man, I'm scared as hell, but you know, sitting there listening to some of the comments other people are making, you know, give you strength and let you know that you're not sitting in there alone, and that it's going to be all right. This is just a storm you have to weather your way through. So a sincere you know, appreciation for all of your guys' comments on stuff like that. For those of you guys who told me about your family who are currently undergoing this illness, you know, I prayed for you guys. I promise you I did. And then, you know, it's just, I'm gonna tell you, if I never in my lifetime ever have to be that sick again, yeah, I'm all right with that. I'm seriously all right with that, you know. But like I said, this will be COVID update number 10. This will be the final COVID update, and again, tremendously appreciative of all the support you guys have given me through this. But that's where we're at, and we're in a good place today. So, yay, yeah. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good day.